All right, so this is something that I'm going to be saying is mandatory for everyone to do if you significantly want to increase your chances of success with this business. This is the Arbitrage Organization section of the course, and this may seem unnecessary or like a drag because it is time consuming. It does get tedious over time, but it is massively important, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly why as we go along. When it comes to your arbitrage purchases, you need to be highly organized from day one. You're going to need three different forms of documentation that I'm going to recommend. This is what I personally do. As you go along, you'll probably find some things that you want to change or you want to do things a little bit different. I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it and the reasons that I do it. And you have to have these at least at a bare minimum. So you're going to need an ASIN purchase sheet, an order sheet, and a personal lead bank. And you can do these all on Google Sheets. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like, what I enter, and then you can go on your own Google Sheets and then create your own. It is very, very simple and straightforward. This lesson isn't going to take a long time, but this process can get tedious, especially at the end of the day or after a long sourcing session. You just want to get your purchases done and then you want to go do something else. I'm telling you, it will really, really pay off if you are very meticulous about documenting everything that you purchase. It's going to really pay off in a few months if you consistently do that. So the ASIN purchase sheet is the sheet that you're going to put all of your purchases on. You're going to put in what you bought, where you bought it, what the brand was, the Amazon link, the listing on the website that you bought it from, all of these things to quickly refer back to that purchase that you made when it comes to restocks. So this is super important when it comes to product sourcing, and it becomes like your gold mine for replens. Because as I said in another lesson, if you're organized about all of the purchases that you make, in the beginning, it's not going to be very beneficial. But you give it a couple of months of consistently sourcing products, and you're going to realize after months of doing this that all you have to do is just refer back to this purchase sheet and then look at all of the things that you've already purchased, the ones that are still profitable, the ones that are already proven, you've tested them out, and which ones you can go deeper on, which ones need to be restocked. And then you can also take account of which ones are no longer profitable, and then you can refer back to them later. But this makes it really easy to keep some replens constantly going. The typical cycle of a new arbitrage seller is that they're stuck in this hamster wheel of product sourcing all the time. Countless hours sourcing to buy only 10 units of a product if they're lucky. They buy those 10 units, they send them in, and they move on to the next. And then this cycle constantly repeats itself. So they're always looking for the next 5 or 10 units that they need to buy. And it seems like they're never going to get out of this part of the business. This is because they don't track all of their purchases. So this is really important. And eventually you're going to realize that you have so many product leads in this purchase sheet that you're going to be restocking and noticing that you're hitting 10K, 20K, 30K a month on a lot of the same ASINs over and over again for an extended period of time. You have officially left the hamster wheel of death that most arbitrage sellers never hop off of when you get to this point when you're really referring back to this purchase sheet all the time. All right, so now let's talk about the order sheet. So this is the most important when it comes to Amazon account protection. Especially if you were to get an IP complaint, for example, you want to have good documentation of and good organization of all of your purchases, your receipts, your purchase history, your invoices, your email confirmations, so you can quickly provide that to Amazon. You don't want to get stuck not documenting anything, and then Amazon asks you for a specific invoice and you have to go combing through all of these emails trying to find the invoice, or combing through all of these different accounts trying to find an invoice for the specific order that they're asking you to provide them with. If you document everything properly, when they ask you for proof of this specific order, you can just type it in on your Google Sheets and then you can find it really quickly. But aside from that, another important reason, you also want to have good documentation of where your money is going at all times. So if you order from a site and you ordered 50 units, for example, you want to make sure that you're getting 50 units. If you order something and you ordered in size 10, you want to make sure that you're getting size 10s. There is only upsides to having proper organization of your orders. So just get it done and you won't regret it. So this last one, your personal lead bank. This one's important to overcome plateaus and stalls in your business. Of the list that we have on here, this is probably the least important of these three, but it's still important in my opinion. And at some point or another, most of us are going to run into capital constraints where we're going to not have enough money to purchase all of the leads that we have at our disposal. When this happens, most people will just stop sourcing. And once they get a payout from Amazon, they'll source a little bit, spend it, and they stop sourcing again. So they are still making a little bit of progress, but how much faster would it be if you always had your pipeline full of profitable leads? This would be essentially your personal and most profitable lead list that you could be a part of. So when that money does come into your account, you have a list of profitable products that you can choose right away. You can choose the most profitable, you can choose the fastest selling, you can choose the ones that are best for FBM. So that pipeline is always full and it's going to be to your benefit. Another section that you can add to this personal lead bank is potential products. So products that weren't quite close enough for you to source. They look like great products. Keepa was great, really steady, very fast mover. It looks like it would be a great opportunity. If you only had 5, 10, 15% off more on this product, you would be able to source it. So you keep track of those potential products as well, so that when there is a big sale, and there will be a big sale at some point in the year, like Black Friday, for example, you can capitalize on those products right away. You don't have to go and source. You just know exactly where they are because you kept a potential lead bank right there, and you can just refer back to it and be able to purchase those products when you do have them at that cheaper price that you need. Super underrated list, in my opinion, to create, but for those of you that do take the time to do it, it will be very fruitful. Okay, so now let's go over the list. It's very, very simple. Just look exactly what I do, and then you can just copy it. Over time, as you get more experience, you can take away whatever you like, add whatever you feel like is more important, but this is the way that I do it. So we have 3 different sheets right here. We have the ASIN purchase sheet, we have the order sheet, and the personal lead bank. So what you're going to want to put is the product category that it's in. I like to separate by product category because sometimes I'm looking into video games. Sometimes I'm looking into shoes. Sometimes I'm looking into grocery. Sometimes I'm looking into sporting goods. And if I'm sourcing a specific category already, I personally tend to like to stick to that category if that's the sourcing session that I'm focusing on at the time. So I put product category, then I want to put the site or the store that I sourced it from. Usually it's the site because I don't do very much retail arbitrage. So let's say we got shoes and we got it from Sam's Club, and let's say we got them online, then I would put the source link here, so or the site link, right? So I can quickly click on this, go back to the site exactly where I bought it from, so that when I want to replen, it's already there and ready to go. I want to put the brand that it is, and I want to put the Amazon listing, so the Amazon product link. So I want to be able to do some product research on it still. Just because it sold great at one point doesn't mean it's selling great today. So we want to click back to the Amazon listing, do some product research, make sure it's still good, then go back to the source link and buy it. I also want to keep track of the buy cost that I got it at the first time. Maybe the cost is a little bit higher this time, but it's still profitable, or maybe it's at a cheaper price, and we want to keep track of that. Keep track of the listing price on Amazon, your profit, your ROI, estimated monthly sales, any notes. This part is very important. Any notes. You don't want to go off of a sale and then purchase it. Maybe it was something great, and then you go back and you're like scratching your head, like, how did I get it for that great price? Like, how did I get it so low? All you have to do is just add it to your notes. So maybe it was buy one get one. Maybe it was 60% off site wide. Maybe it was 50% off sale with 10% cash back with a sign up coupon or something like that. So you want to keep notes of how you got that discount in the first place. And then lastly, I also put size because I do source a lot of shoes, a lot of clothes. But if you're also sourcing variations, you want to put the variation that it is right here. All right, so this is the ASIN purchase sheet. Just look exactly what I do. Just create it yourself on Google Sheets. It's very simple and straightforward to do. All right, so let's go over the order sheet. Order sheet, again, super straightforward. We're just documenting. This isn't anything complicated. It's just tracking everything that we're doing. So the order number, we got it from our supplier, Best Buy. The product was a Logitech mouse. We got 10 of them. Then we would enter our ASIN right here. Cost per unit, $50. Order cost, $500. What credit card did we use? Chase credit card number 1 if we have multiple credit cards. What's the order status? Right now it's currently shipped. And then once it gets here, delivered, confirmed, processing, whatever you want to put here. I usually just put shipped and delivered. Where did we ship this to? Did we ship it to ourselves? Did we ship it to a prep center? With arbitrage orders, you're not going to be shipping it to Amazon. With wholesale orders, you definitely can. So it's always going to say either I shipped it to myself or I shipped it to my prep center. When did we order this? If it's taking way too long, that's a problem. We want to call customer support, ask where our order is, make sure it didn't get canceled, and we just aren't aware of it. And then lastly, you want to have a Google Drive file link right here where you upload either your email confirmation or an invoice or the receipt, and you want to be able to put it into your Google Drive. So you're going to want to create a Google Drive for your business. It's completely free to do. And then when you get an email confirmation, or let's say you get your invoice, let's say you're using a retailer that does provide you an invoice, what you're going to do is that you're going to export it to print. So you're going to say you're going to print this this page. It's going to be the email confirmation or the invoice. You go to print, and then you put download as a PDF. Once you download it as a PDF, you will then upload it to your Google Drive. Once you upload it to your Google Drive, you can get a link and then just add your link into the file link section right here. So you have quick documentation, like just one click, and you can find exactly what you're looking for. So very, very important when it comes to Amazon requiring documentation from you. This is super, super important. So you just avoid a lot of headache if you just do this. All right, last one, lead bank. So lead bank is either you can use it as, okay, these are all profitable products, I just need more capital. Or you can do it as potential products. Products are really close, they're great sellers, but I just need an extra little discount. You can use either one, or you can use both. So let's just go over this personal lead bank. So product category, site link, everything's going to be exactly the same. The only thing that's going to change is in your notes. So in our notes right here, current discount not enough, I need X amount in discount for it to be profitable. So everything else is going to be the same. We just want to know, why wasn't this purchased, or why couldn't we purchase this today, right? And if you're doing it as a lead bank where you're just tracking all these profitable leads, then you would just write that you're just capital issues, you're just capital constraints right now. All right, guys, but that is the arbitrage organization system that we are going to follow. I know it can get tedious, like I said in the beginning, but trust me, if you do this, it will pay off tenfold. If you don't do this, you're going to struggle immensely. It's going to be way harder for you to replan consistently. It's going to be way harder for you to get off that hamster wheel where you're always just looking for the next 5 to 10 products. You can't make it work like that. You need to be organized in your business so that you can, one, replan as often as possible and as often as is allowed. And then two, once you already have this organization, you know what products are profitable, what products are proven, and then you can decide which ones I'm going to go deeper and deeper on, so that I'm not consistently sourcing 5, 10 units. I'm sourcing 50, 100, 150 units wherever I can get my hands on it. So very, very important lesson in my opinion.